On the 19th of September 1996, during the General Sani Abacha military administration, 11 years old Anthony Ikechukwu Okoroko left home to hawk boiled groundnut in the city of Owerri to support his family. This was his regular routine as his mother usually sent him to hawk groundnut after school. Like every other day, he left home with a tray full with boiled groundnut and bidded his mom goodbye. The mom never knew that was the last time she was going to see her son. This particular day, people did not patronize Anthony that much, so he decided to walk towards the Amako Hair area of Owerri City, hoping to get enough sales to put a smile on his mother's face. Just then, a customer signaled him to bring the groundnut. He was happy as this was the first call he got after hawking groundnut for several hours. The customer was 32 years old Innocent Ikeanyawo, who called Anthony inside the famous Otokoto hotel. Initially, young Anthony wasn't too comfortable entering the hotel, but on a second thought, he felt he could get good sales as many other people within the hotel premises may be interested in his groundnut. Young Anthony never knew that Innocent Ikeanyawo had ulterior motive. He wasn't even interested in the boy's groundnut. He had other dangerous plans for the boy. Immediately, young Anthony took his tray of groundnut inside the hotel. He was asked to wait because a lot of people wanted to buy. He was so excited. He thought of the smile that would be on his mother's face when he sells the entire groundnut. While waiting, young Anthony was offered a chilled bottle of Coca-Cola to cool him off from the scorching heat of the sun. He happily drank the bottle of Coca-Cola, not knowing that it was spiked. As he was sipping his soft drink and taking a look at the glittering surrounding of the hotel, he could have imagined having a hotel of his own too later in the future. As he was dreaming about his future, his vision became blurry and the sounds around him became muffled and dull. In a matter of minutes, he dozed off, never to wake up again. His tray full of granite was lying in a corner. Observing the boy from a safe distance was Innocent Ikeanyawo, the man who had called him to buy his granules. Once he saw young Anthony was asleep, he took him into one of the hotel rooms, and what followed next remains one of the most barbaric and evil things anyone can ever dream of. Innocent brought out a sharp cutlass, beheaded young Anthony, who was still sleeping. After the boy's head was cut off, he disemboweled his torso, removed his liver and other parts he needed. That was not the end. Mr. Innocent Ikeanyawo went further to remove the young boy's genitals. After butchering the boy and sorting out the organs, he packed his head inside a polythene bag and buried his remains. Mr. Innocent Ikeanyawo then took the polythene bag, cutting the boy's head, and headed for the next destination, that is, the house of the man who needed a fresh head. I mean the man who was behind the entire ritual killing operations. But that was when the bubble busted. After the gruesome killing of young Anthony, Mr. Innocent Ikeanyawo, I wonder who gave him that name. Anyway, he left the hotel and stopped an Okada rider, that is a commercial motorcycle, to convey him to the place where the human parts were needed. It was this Okada man named Opara who was to take Innocent Ikeanyawo to his destination in Eziama that realized that what his passenger was carrying inside the polythene bag was a fresh human head. It was still dripping with blood. When Innocent alighted, the Okada man quickly alerted the police. The police then intercepted Ikeanyawo on his way back in a Peugeot 504 car. He was carrying the head with him in the polythene bag. He was going to the residence of a highly influential figure named Chief Leonard Unoagu at Eziama, a Keduru local council area, with a fresh head. But upon arriving, he was told that Mr. Unoagu had gone to Lagos. So Ikeanyawo had no other option but to return to Owerri with the boy's head. It was on his way back that the police arrested him. The news of what had happened spread throughout the city of Owerri very quickly. The people were angry, the tension was high, and the people protested. People came out in thousands to protest the ritual killing of young Anthony Ikechukwu Okoroko. They stayed around and within the Otokoto hotel premises, waited for police to confirm that it was indeed a ritual murder, while more people were marching and trooping to the scene of the ritual killing as the news was spreading. But something happened that escalated the situation into a full-blown crisis in Owerri. You see, the local media mistakenly showed the image of Innocent Ikeanyawo holding the head of his victim. The goal of the media was not to cause panic, but to assure the people, pacify public fear, and ask the public to help identify the boy and show official transparency. But of course, their decision became counterproductive. What followed next was a catastrophe. All hell broke loose as the enraged people of Owerri went haywire after the image was first broadcast on the 24th of September 1996. All Owerri residents abandoned their businesses and congregated at the town central marketplace. It was there they decided on the next plan of action and outlined their strategies to deal with the Otokoto headhunters. The news spread rapidly. Every home in Owerri had heard the news or seen the image of Okoroko's head or his shallow grave. Unemployed and disgruntled youth took over the parks and issued threat to Owerri millionaires. From the Owerri main market, the riot exploded and spread. The rampaging crowd first went to the morgue, and from there, they rushed to the Otokoto hotel and burnt it to the ground. From there, they went to the nearby palatial mansion of Chief Vincent Duru and destroyed his property. His expensive cars were wrecked, and Duru himself narrowly escaped them. There were no piano plaza and stores alongside another hotel, Shibet Hotel, and various businesses linked to the Otokoto and their sources were utterly destroyed. The angry protesters started going after every millionaire in Owerri. The Zubairu-led government later confiscated all the properties as recommended by the panel, which was headed by Justice P.C. Onumajoro. From there, they rushed to the palace of the traditional ruler and the chairman of the State Council of Traditional Rulers, Eze Onuegu Nwoke, and burned down his residence and his petrol station. They also destroyed the king's 15 air conditioners and many of his cars. The angry protesters were not done yet. From there, the crowd headed for the residence of former Imo State officials. These administrators were targeted because what was described as their alleged unwillingness to properly tackle several cases of ritual killing, kidnapping, and robbery while in office. The angry rioters only agreed to calm down when the military administrators assured them that a full state-level investigation of the incident was going to be launched. Eke Anyanwu, who murdered the boy, was 32 years old and he worked as a gardener inside the Otokoto Hotel. He was arrested and detained in police custody while waiting trial. But something really scary happened. The incident further showed that this was a serious conspiracy. 4 days after Eke Anyanwu was sent to the police station, he was poisoned to death. Innocent Eke Anyanwu killed young Anthony on Thursday, and by Sunday morning he was found dead. But luckily for the investigators, before he was killed, Eke Anyanwu already confessed and mentioned Leonard Unoagu as the brain behind the ritual killing syndicate. He confessed that the ritual killing ring was a well-organized machine that specialized in the harvesting of human body parts and sold them to those interested in using them for rituals or all the usual nonsense they claim to be using them for. He also said that it was Unoagu who ordered him to get a human head. Reports have it that Otokoto saga had been in place as far back as 1976. Confessional statements revealed that no one was spared at Otokoto Hotel. Innocent guests and unsuspecting travelers who lodged at the hotel were drugged or attacked in the middle of their sleep and hacked to death, after which they were cut into pieces for sale. Police officers who swooped upon the hotel discovered not only the shallow grave containing that of the little boy, but also graves containing other victims with their decomposing and dismembered corpses. The man that Eke Anyanwu mentioned before he was poisoned to death, Leonard Unoagu, was a business tycoon. He was the younger brother of Laz Unoagu, a serving minister of the Abacha. Leonard Unoagu was eventually arrested by the police. When the police arrested Unoagu, he lied with a straight face that he never knew anyone called Innocent Eke Anyanwu and that he was not even in Owerri when the crime was committed, saying he was in Lagos. On the 20th of August 1997, a senior magistrate court in Owerri docked 9 police officers for the murder of Eke Anyanwu. The case went on till 14th October 1997, over a year, and after a series of adjournment, absence of lawyers, the presiding judge, suspect, or even the retirement of judges or their transfer. When the case finally resumed, many were pissed off. Leonard Unoagu, the minister's younger brother, was transported in a new station wagon from the prison to the court like royalty. Vincent Duru and other suspects were brought in the Black Maria from prison to the court with handcuffs. Duru protested the preferential treatment given to Unoagu. Many judges handled the case. First, it was Gabriel Ojaku, then Simeon Ekben, who was almost done with the prosecution until he was elevated to the Court of Appeal. Then finally, on the 28th of April 1999, Justice Shoma Wonsu Ehime gave a judgment. He sentenced all the 7 suspects to death. Thereafter, Chief Vincent Duru, the owner of Otokoto Hotel, and Unoagu denied knowing each other. But Justice Wonsu Ehime said that was a lie. Unoagu appealed the sentence in 2012, but he was unlucky as the sentence was upheld by the appeal court. Leonard Onoagu would later die some years ago at Port Harcourt prisons in what have been described as very mysterious circumstances. What do you think about this story? Kindly share your thoughts in the comments.